Thank you so much for joining us for our June webinar, which is talk about Vietnam versus Hong Kong. So which destination is right for you? So my name is Fidela and I'll be your host for today's session. And joining me today is my colleague, Keith. Hi, Keith. How are you?
Hello, I'm great. Hello, and you, Fidela?
I'm great. Thank you so much. And just to give you guys some heads up, so Keith here is a business development and partnership team here at RMC Asia. Keith works closely with many of our hotel partners and destinations, so he will be sharing valuable insights about both Vietnam and Hong Kong throughout today's session. For those who may be joining us for the first time, and about RMC Asia itself is a Bangkok-based organization specializing in cultural exchange programs within the hospitality and tourism industry. Basically, we connect students, graduates, and young professionals with luxury hotels and resorts across Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. We have Portugal now, helping them gain international experience and while exploring new cultures and destinations. So today, we'll be comparing two very exciting destinations that often attract a lot of interest from the applicants, which is Vietnam and Hong Kong. What makes Vietnam and Hong Kong popular destinations? So let's start with the big picture. So both Vietnam and Hong Kong continue, I can say, to attract a lot of interest from international candidates, but for very different reasons, I can say. So Keith, what would you say makes Vietnam and Hong Kong such popular destination for hospitality internships and training programs?
First of all, I would like to say thank you for all of you attending our webinar. My name is Keith and I'm come from Ho Chi Minh City, one of the biggest city in Vietnam. So what makes Vietnam and Hong Kong popular internship destination? I would say firstly, Vietnam is well known as a developing country. This year, our government takes turn to welcome new techniques, expand our global relationship, and promote a different culture exchange. We welcome and we need more young talent to contribute their insight, especially in tourism and hospitality, where the hands-on experience is focused currently. And for Hong Kong, they are well known for as an international business and its efficiency. They build a well-structured management system and we will see ourselves get progress day by day. Yes, that is the two biggest highlights between Vietnam and Hong Kong.
I really like that comparison because although both destinations offer international hospitality exposure, the experiences can feel very different, right? So, and that's exactly why it's important to understand not only the destination itself, but also what kind of experience you are hoping to gain from it. So when people hear Vietnam or Hong Kong, so they sometimes imagine only one city. But in reality, there are several locations where participants may be placed, right, Kit? What are some of the main locations applicants can expect in both destinations?
First of all, I would like to share Vietnam is a country. It includes Da Nang City, Nha Trang City, and Ho City, and a lot of cities. But Hong Kong is just primarily an island. It's an island of the or city of China. Vietnam, we recently promoting Da Nang, Nha Trang, Phu Quoc. These places are surrounded by one of the most beautiful beaches, attracting many international tourists. They are healthy environment, safety for international visitors, perfect balance between the modern cities, because now the government, they are building these three cities, and it's especially Phu Quoc in 2027 it will have a big event which is called APEC. And for Hong Kong, as I shared, they're primarily just the island of China. So there will be two big places, so-called Hong Kong Island and Kowloon Island, where the more international hotels are located there.
Okay. Yeah. All clear. Thank you, Kit. So honestly, that's one of my favorite things about Vietnam in particular. So the destinations are quite diverse. So some locations offer a more relaxed beach environment, while others combine like tourism development with modern city infrastructure, I can say. And for Hong Kong, even though it's geographically smaller than Vietnam, but the exposure to international hospitality standards and like a global travelers is incredibly strong. So applicants really have different experiences available depending on what they're looking for. So thank you so much, Keith. Now let's move on to something that I think is equally important. So choosing a destination isn't only about the hotel you will be working at. So it is also about the lifestyle you will experience every single day. So many applicants ask us things like which destination is better, but actually isn't one simple answer because everyone has different personalities, expectations, and career goals. So Keith, according to you, maybe could you share with us the differences between Vietnam and Hong Kong in terms of lifestyle, work environment, and maybe like cost of living? And based on those differences, what type of applicant do you think would be the best fit for each destination?
You did mention one point. It depends on what type of people we are. So there are always two aspects of a destination. For example, in Vietnam, the cost of living is averagely affordable if we're living in the beach cities like Da Nang, Nha Trang, Phu Quoc, because we are building these beach cities to be one of the important cities. So, but urban cities like Ho Chi Minh City, where I'm from, or Hanoi, they will require to working harder. In general, Vietnam is the relaxed lifestyle, chill and easy, and also Vietnamese, we are unique. We're unique in the communities, and we love gathering after working days. Yeah, we drinking every day, even though it's a Monday evening. And for Hong Kong, I would say the cost of living of Hong Kong is steep. It's very expensive. The spaces of living are small enough. However, we will face the new things and the new challenge every day. We can learn and grow in a short period of time when you're in Hong Kong. And speed and accuracy are focused when working in Hong Kong. Even though you're eating out at just a store or just a small restaurant, you can see how fast people are going. I assume that will be the key word when we talk about Hong Kong.
And I really like how you explain that because it shows there's no one size fits all answer. So some people enjoy a fast paced environment where every day brings a new challenge. But on the other hand, others prefer a more relaxed setting where they can gradually build their confidence and gain experience. So I can say neither choice is right or wrong, but yeah, it really depends on what kind of journey you are looking for. Measure before choosing a destination, we always encourage the candidates itself to think beyond popularity and ask yourself, where do I see myself growing the most? Because in the end, the best destination isn't necessarily the most famous one. So it's the one that match your personality, match your learning style, and your career goals. What kind of support and benefits are commonly provided by host organization, the hotels and resorts in Vietnam and Hong Kong?
For the benefit targets, Vietnam and Hong Kong host organization in general, but not limited. It also depends on the regions. RMC Asia will have our candidates to get the benefit include the training allowance, meals, basic medical insurance, flight reimbursement. However, accommodation in Hong Kong normally will be settled by the participants themselves. Some hosts will not cover and some will pay the accommodation fee to support our candidate. That is the benefit that we will cover. RMC Asia will try our best to negotiate for the best package of benefits to the candidate.
Always something we encourage candidates to review carefully when receiving an offer from the host organizations. While benefits can vary from one host organization to another, it is helpful to know that many hotels provide support that helps participants settle into their daily life and can just focus on gaining professional experience during the program itself. So the hotel brands themselves. So one of the biggest advantages of joining NRMC Asia program is the opportunity to gain experience with internationally recognized hospitality companies. So across both Vietnam and Hong Kong, participants may have opportunities with well-known brands such as Marriott Internationals, Hilton, Hyatt, IHG, Accor, and besides we work with international brand, we also work with a local brand in each destination. For example, in here, a Fin Group, a local brand in Vietnam, and then Mandarin Oriental, Shangri-La, and Langham Group, and many other brands. So what's also interesting is that the experience isn't limited to one type of hotel, but depending on the destination and then the department, you may find yourself working in a beachfront resort, a luxury city hotel, or type of like a business focused property or a premium lifestyle hotel. So regardless of the destination, the opportunity to learn directly from established hospitality brands can be incredibly valuable for your future career. So it gives the participants exposure to international standards and then the multicultural teams and operational practice that are recognized throughout the global hospitality industry. And speaking of preparing for your international journey, one of the next things applicants often ask about is the visa process, Keith. So let's talk about that in the next slide. So let's move on to another topic that's equally important before anyone starts applying, and that's eligibility. So many people assume the requirements are exactly the same for every destination, but that's actually not the case. So Keith, could you explain the eligibility requirements for Vietnam and Hong Kong? And are there any key differences that applicants should be aware of before choosing a destination?
I would say, in general, the requirements of Vietnam and Hong Kong, they are similar to each other. The important document is the school recommendation letter with the stamp and signature of the head of the school, principal or vice principal or someone like that. So you must get this kind of document first, because some of the students, they graduated and even in 1 or 2 years, but they cannot get that school recommendation letter. We cannot proceed the next step, even though they are really potential that fit right to the hotel. Yeah, we faced a lot of cases like that. So to help you easily remember Vietnam and Hong Kong, you need to get the school recommendation letter first with a stamp and signature of the head of the school. And for Hong Kong, it's a little bit stricter. Hong Kong only accepts the enrolled students enrolled in the university because they are going to apply for the training visa. That is a highlight in general requirement of Vietnam and Hong Kong.
And I think that's a really useful clarification from you, because it's something applicants should know from the very beginning, especially with the school recommendation letter. And yeah, sometimes someone is very interested in a particular destination, but later realize they don't meet one of the eligibility requirements. So this is very important. So understanding these differences early helps participants plan better, prepare the right documents, and then choose the destination that is most suitable for their current situation. One question that always comes up whenever people are applying to go abroad is, of course, about the visa process. So many applicants wonder how long it takes, how handles who handles the application, and whether the visa costs are covered by the hotels or by themselves. So, Kit, could you walk us through how the visa process works for Vietnam and Hong Kong and what the main differences are?
For Vietnam, the host will normally we will negotiate with them. They will take the responsibilities to apply for the visa with the document provided by the participant. In different regions, the different hosts will require like a little extra document. The visa sponsorship normally is not included. The cost will be ranged from $45 to 150. It depends on the type of the visa. Maybe you will enter Vietnam with DH visa or DN or everyone. It's a lot. It depends on the host appointed. And the process will approximately 2 months. And for Hong Kong visa sponsorship, 99% they will be covered by the host. And the process will be approximately 1.5 months.
I think hearing that helps make the process feel much less intimidating, I can say. So every country has its own immigration procedures. So naturally, the timeline and requirements can be different. And the important thing is the participants follow the instruction carefully and prepare everything as early as possible to help avoid unnecessary delays. And no need to worry because RMC Asia always guide you with all of the administrative thing, all the visa or passport thing. Speaking of preparation, another thing applicants often ask is, what documents should I start preparing? So keep what some of the most common documents participants will need for Vietnam and Hong Kong.
To get into details, I will split Vietnam. Firstly, you need a valid passport, photos, medical check, school recommendation letter, and agreement between school and the host organization. And then you will go to the embassy or consulate to notarize at the first step. And the second step is to legalize. These two steps at two government places, different two government places. And you will turn it into Vietnamese first or English before submitting to the hotel. And for Hong Kong, students only enter Hong Kong with the training visa as an enrolled student, as I shared previously, which means only enrolled students are eligible. The documents are same as Vietnam, but in English, not that complicated.
It's definitely something people shouldn't leave until the last minute because some documents require notarization, legalization, or even signatures from universities. So which can sometimes take longer than expected. So if you are already considering applying, it's always a good idea to begin organizing your documents early. So it makes the entire process much smoother later on. And I think this is probably one of the biggest concerns for first-time participants. So many people worry that once they are accepted, they will have to figure everything out on their own. So Keith, could you explain how RMC Asia supports participants throughout the transition before they actually begin working abroad or do the training abroad?
That is a part of the operation team, which is our team. When after we're receiving the registrations from the sales team, we will personalize the candidate profiles based on their strengths and needs, and with interview with them. And after that, we will send it to our host partner, the whole organization, which with the same requirement. And the second step is the coaching interview. And after being shortlisted by host, the host will list out which candidates they would like to schedule in advance. And then we will schedule an interview again with the candidate to advise them during the real meeting with the managers how to increase the chance of selection. And the third one is the visa support team. Our visa specialist team will contact the candidate and advise them to notarize and legalize all the documents at ease. And the next step is the pre-arrival. After your visa approval, our onboarding teams will schedule another meeting to help the candidates to understand the destination and help them to pick up the culture and reply to their questions before their departure. And finally is the post-arrival. Our service include from the consulting, coaching until at the end of the internship.
I agree. And I really like that you mentioned support doesn't stop after someone receives an offer. So from preparing for interviews, helping with visa documentation, organizing the pre-departure meetings, and all the way until participants arrive at their destination. So there's a lot of happening behind the scenes, and especially for first-time travelers, having guidance throughout the process can make the whole experience feel much more manageable and much less overwhelming. So it's really great to hear that explanation from you, Kit. All right, so everyone, we have now reached the Q&A session. So if you have any questions about Vietnam, Hong Kong, the application process, eligibility, or anything we have discussed today, we'd love to hear from you. So feel free to type your questions in the chat box, or if you are joining us live and would like to ask directly, you are more than welcome to raise your hand and unmute yourself. So we will give everyone a moment to send in their questions. And by the way, Kit, we already received one question here in the chat box. So is Vietnam and Hong Kong the only available country for internship? Is Thailand included? So Kit, I think I can just answer it directly. So thank you for the question, by the way. The answer is no. So in terms of internships, RMC Asia offer a program in Asia, Middle East, and then Europe, especially in Portugal. So in Asia, we have Thailand, Hong Kong, Vietnam, and then Maldives as a seasonal destination. And then we have Malaysia as a special destination too. And in the GCC countries in the Middle East, we have United Arab Emirates, and then Oman, Bahrain, and what else, Kit, do I miss on GCC? I think that's it, right?
Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah, for Saudi Arabia, it's a special destination. So yeah, in GCC we cover Oman, Bahrain, and UAE. And then for the Europe itself, we currently only available in the Portugal, and hopefully we will be expanding soon. So keep an eye from RMC Asia's update. So we will always inform you for a new destination. So hope it helps and hope it answers your questions. And we received another question, Kit, in chat box. So may I know how much the minimum allowance that we get in Hong Kong?
Made for good two. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The minimum allowance in Hong Kong would be 7,000 per month. And normally they will pay 10,000 per month to include the accommodation. And for 3,000 accommodation fees, normally we will pass this to our local in Hong Kong partner. Someone will have the candidates to settle their accommodation in Hong Kong. It's 10,000 including the accommodation. Okay. Next questions will be understand language barrier. Okay, I will say, of course, when you come to Vietnam, it's better to know Vietnamese. It helps you to communicate. But also our hospitality now, they also aware of that issue. They will group the candidate into 4 departments. Firstly is the teachers. The second one is the F&B. And the third one is housekeeping. And the fourth one is the front office. These 4 positions, they are less communicate with internally. You only communicate with your management, your manager in English. Is it not? I hope that answers your question.
I may add, Kit. So, English is for internship program. English is very important, but in a conversational level of English. But additional language, like third language, is I can say added point for to be a consideration for the host organization.
Oh, and
And
one more information I like to add it on, like, because now we are welcoming there are three type of markets in Vietnam. We welcoming Korean and welcoming Russian and we welcoming Chinese a lot. So if the candidates can speak these three languages, that would be nice and increase the training allowance and the chance to be selected. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Keith. And another question. So it's seasonal right now. It's just Hong Kong and Malaysia. For seasonal, it is just Maldives and Malaysia. So the other destination like Thailand, Vietnam, Hong Kong, and then GCC destination, it's active destination. You can just apply it directly and we will introduce you to the host on that destination. The seasonal one is just Malaysia and Maldives. So how long is the estimated time for visa processing in Vietnam? How do you say it?
Yeah, sorry. It will take approximately 2 months to process the visa processing. 2 months. It's not included the interview between the host and the candidate. Yeah, sometimes it will take more 2 weeks working days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope it clarify your question, Clary. And from Putu again, is that possible if I would like to start in January in Hong Kong? So the answer is yes. So our program open throughout the year, right, Kit?
Yeah. And their hiring season this year will be September, October. And I think January will be good.
So if you plan to join in January, we recommend you to apply 3 to 4 months before that, because sometimes the preparation takes longer. For example, the legalization, and then you have to obtain the reference letter with the signature from your universities. Some preparations takes time. So we encourage you to apply in advance. But yeah, the answer is yes. Our program is open throughout the year. So whenever you are ready to start, you can just feel free to apply. So do you have open positions in Dubai? Yes, of course. We have in the United Arab Emirates, we have Dubai and then Abu Dhabi. And what else we have, Kit? I think that's the most common open positions right now in the United Arab Emirates. And from Emil, hello, what are the hotel brands that you are working with in Portugal? All right, so in Portugal, we work closely in international
Marriott.
well-known brand. Yeah, Marriott is the most active host organization in Portugal, and we have a lot more like what we have mentioned before in the presentations. Like we have Marriott, we have IHG, and then we have Hyatt, and any other both local and international brand. Is that 7,000 Hong Kong included accommodation and meal?
7,000 Hong Kong is the basic training allowance only. For accommodation, normally they will pay more 3,000. That means 10,000 Hong Kong dollar will be included the accommodation. And meal also, they will include this 1 or 2 meal. It depends on the ship.
And then next one, we received a lot of questions today, Kit. It's interesting.
Yeah, but it's out of Vietnam and Hong Kong.
Yeah, and another one, open positions now in Thailand. Yeah, we have active opportunities in Thailand. You can just apply in many departments, for example, front office, food and beverage. We have a lot of housekeeping or recreation opportunities, and we have kitchen. And beside the hospitality department, we also have sales and marketing and human resources. So feel free to apply by sending your CV. Later on, I will share it in the screen. Can I apply early while studying? Yes. So the requiremts, like what Keith mentioned, the requirements, you can be enrolled students and recent graduates, but make sure you are like in active communication with your college or university when applying for an internship program abroad, because this is like a fully on-site work or fully on-site training. Last question as of now, Keith, is Portugal open only for enrolled students? Okay, so in Portugal, we have only hospitality and business internship right now. And then the duration itself, it's typically 12 months of program. And the general requirements, it can be enrolled students or you are recent graduates within 2 years graduated. And then I think that's it, that cover the question. So yeah, either recent graduates or you are still enrolled students can apply for Portugal. We already answer all of the questions here in the chat box. So if you guys have any other before we close the section, just feel free to ask it directly by unmute yourself or just type it on the chat box.
And one little extra information is we always encourage the candidate of our partners to offer more destination to the participants that will increase their chance of being selected. Like when you register our programs, you can take Thailand, Vietnam, UAE, or GCC, or you can take as much as you can. Of course, firstly, you need to love that country first, okay? And our team will try to help you settle and your placement.
Internship has depend, right? Is there a chance of getting absorbed or offered real work after the internship? Oh, this is interesting question, Kate. I think you are the best to answer this. So pretty much it's cover. Is it possible to get a full-time position?
Yeah, of course. Honestly, sharing the internship allowance, that not really, maybe the basic one is not really ideal. It may lower than expectation, but if the student they have a good performance, of course, the hotel will take note everything, and when they have a good record, they can stay. They can turn into the real world after the internship 100%, because we got a lot of cases. They gave a lot of well performance, and then the hotel just talked to our RMC Asia. They said, I want to keep this student, and we said, of course you can. Yeah.
And please note that our program, I can say, is not for financial gain, but it is more focused on you experience the cultural side. You have an experience, an international experience abroad. So the chance of getting hired as a full-time is a huge chance for you, because if you take a look on our social media, we have a lot of posts, a lot of testimonials from our past participants that are getting absorbed as a full-time position. So make sure if you got placed in a hotel or resort, please make sure that you can work. I mean, you are stand out doing your work there. So the manager, the hiring manager, or the hotels itself notice your effort in working in a host organization itself, and absolutely, they are really open to offer you a full-time position.
Yeah, you got a point. Thank you.
All right, and I think that's all the time we have for today. So Keith, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your insights. It is very valuable and really nice talking to you. And of course, A huge thank you to everyone who joined us today. I really appreciate all of you guys because we receive a lot of questions, a lot of enthusiasm with this session. So we really appreciate you spending part of your day with us. So hope this session has helped you feel more confident. And if you're considering either of these destination for your international experience, you are welcome to apply. And if you'd like to learn more about our programs, you are welcome to visit our website at www.rmcasia.org, or just like feel free to scan the barcode in here. And if you have already been in touch with one of our team members, feel free to continue reaching out to them with any questions you may have. And if you are new to RMC Asia, you can always contact us, ask any questions. We will be happy to answer that by contact us through info@rmcasia.org. And once again, thank you everyone for being here today. Thank you, Keith. We wish you all the best, and hopefully we will see you again in another webinar session. Thank you, guys.
See you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.